Hey everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your news report, second stimulus check update, and second stimulus package update, and hope you're having a great day. Now folks, we have some great news because stimulus checks have just been announced in Washington, D.C. According to Newsweek, a second round of stimulus checks for select Americans was announced in Washington, D.C. on Monday. About 38,000 low-wage Connecticut workers who are ineligible for supplemental federal unemployment benefits over the summer will receive about $1,800 in stimulus pay. That's under a new executive order from Governor Lamont. And Senator Josh Hawley has urged Trump to veto the next stimulus bill. According to Politico, the Missouri Republican lobbied Trump to veto any stimulus bill that does not contain a second round of stimulus payments. Jobless benefits for 1.2 million New Yorkers are about to expire, according to Democrat and Chronicle. Two critical unemployment programs that are part of the federal bailout earlier this year are expiring December 26th, leaving about 12 million workers in the nation facing an uncertain future as Congress looks to negotiate a deal in the coming days. Now before we get into the video, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the notifications bell. That way you'll never miss all of the newest and most up-to-date, reliable stimulus check information. Let's get this video to 5,000 likes if you think that Congress must pass more stimulus relief before the end of the year. My message to our American government is to pass stimulus relief. The good, hardworking American people need help. Now is the time to act. If you agree with my message, then leave a comment down below saying, I agree.
Out of the job-saving Paycheck Protection Program for the workers at the hardest hit establishments. Some major parts of the historic CARES Act have already run dry. Many others are set to expire at year's end and more. We tried to send more than $100 billion to help schools and welcome students and teachers safely to the classroom. We tried to implement common sense legal protections that universities and charities have been clamoring for. We've tried to pass all of this over and over again, but Speaker Pelosi and the Senate Democratic leader have blocked it. They've been very transparent about all this with their political strategies, laid it right out there. Speaker of the House spent the entire summer and the entire autumn literally gambling with the health and welfare of the American people. And Democrats could continue demanding the right to remake all of society along far left lines. Our surging from coast to coast, the American people have gone entirely without any additional aid, even the least controversial, most bipartisan programs.
DC Mayor Bowser announced one-time $1,200 stimulus payments for some Washington, D.C. residents that are financially affected by the pandemic during a press conference on Monday. This is great news because now Washington, D.C., New Mexico, Colorado, and even Missouri have already began giving their citizens $1,200 stimulus payments. Folks, leave a comment down below. Do you think that your city will do the same? The mayor of D.C. told reporters, "We will invest a portion of our CARES Act funding to provide a round of local stimulus, with pandemic unemployment assistance set to expire at the end of this month. D.C. government will be providing a $1,200 one-time stimulus payment to unemployed Washingtonians and have been participating in the pandemic unemployment assistance program as of November 31st. And the mayor said, "We estimate that we can reach about 20,000 citizens with these payments." Other cities, including St. Paul and Pittsburgh, have also decided to experiment direct payments to residents.
And so if somebody's going to sue a bar, alleging that they were infected at the bar, when initially, but you know, there's this murkiness of guidelines at the outset. How do you decide what is your standard? I'm not an attorney, but is it gross negligence? Is it ordinary negligence? How much you spend on causation? And you could just bankrupt a small business just by the process of establishing whether or not they adhered to a safe harbor at a certain point in time. By the way, what is a safe harbor?
Is it the Republicans or the Democrats that are holding back your second stimulus payments? Tell me what you think in the comments down below, everybody. And according to the Connecticut Post, about 38,000 low-wage Connecticut workers who are ineligible for supplemental federal unemployment over the summer will make about $1,800 in retroactive pay under a new executive order from Governor Lamont. It will cost the state $7.5 million to leverage $55 million in federal pandemic support, giving those who made less than $100 a week in benefits up to $300 a week for July, August, and September. Lamont said it's worth it to provide extra pay during the upcoming holidays. He said on Friday, "This is a really complicated time for people. The pandemic has led to more than 1 million claims for unemployment benefits in the state of Connecticut since March. He also told reporters, and according to CNN, economists have urged Bernie Sanders to not vote against the stimulus relief bill. Washington is nearing a breakthrough on a desperately needed federal relief package that could keep the fragile economic recovery intact. But Senator Bernie Sanders is furious that the bipartisan legislation does not include stimulus payments. Sanders threatened Friday to oppose the yet-to-be-released legislation, arguing that it was morally wrong. Sanders wrote in a statement, "The American people need help and they need help now." Peter Navarro, the White House economic advisor, also expressed a displeasure about the lack of stimulus checks. Navarro told Fox Business the $908 billion package is about 2 months late and $1 trillion short. CNN goes on to say that the bipartisan package being negotiated in Congress would help because it includes forgivable loans to small businesses.
It is true. What do you ascribe that to? What were her motivations for not accepting? Did you talk to her? What did she say to you?
Well, she said that McConnell at the time, if you remember, was not willing to move as well. I mean, the White House had a deal at 1.8, 1.9 trillion. Mnuchin had moved. The White House had moved. If McConnell had moved and put it before the Senate, I think it would have increased pressure. But there's no doubt in my mind that we should have been doing more back then to get the 1.8 trillion.
So with both sides, I guess the bottom line is I don't know what we could have arrived at. Maybe, I don't know. It's history. Neither side moved. Congressman.
The initial shutdown because they were being incentivized to stay at home. They made more money or made about as much money not working than working. So we certainly don't want to pass any type of government legislation that incentivizes people not to go to work. We want to safely reopen the economy, and we recognize that we need some stimulus, but I would like to see, and most Republicans would like to see, targeted stimulus.
According to Democratic Chronicle, more than 1.2 million New Yorkers got their unemployment insurance through a federal program that is set to expire at year's end. That's a crucial safety net for people out of work due to the pandemic. And few states have more on the line than New York. The 1.2 million New Yorkers got benefits last month from the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, ranking second among states behind only California. And another 717,000 got the unemployment from Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation Program. With that being said, everybody, that is all the news in regards to our second stimulus check and your unemployment benefits. If you found this video useful, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the notifications bell. On this channel, I always provide you with the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check information, so be sure to subscribe and click the bell.